Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tamara and I'm on a GLP-1 medication to help me lose 100 pounds. And this week was pretty exciting. I hit a major weight loss milestone and I wanted to share my weekly weigh-in with you and then also talk about what went well through the week, the food I ate, things I still need to work on, and goals for next week. And just a note also before we start that I am not a doctor. This is just my personal experience losing weight with the help of a GLP-1, and always talk to your doctor or healthcare provider before starting anything new. Okay, so let's jump into it. Thursday evening, I did my second injection of 5 milligrams Zepbound, and I did the full 50 units out of the vial this time. The first dose I used 40 units just to try to make that transition from 2.5 to 5 a little more gradual. And so far I've been doing really well. I've had minimal side effects. I have had some chills over the last few days, more appetite suppression, but other than that, not too bad. This morning I weighed in right after getting up. And as a reminder, last week my weigh-in was 226.1. And I was pretty shocked this morning. My weight was 223.3. So I lost 2.8 pounds this past week. So far 5 milligrams is working really well for me. It's really jump-started my weight loss again. And I'm really excited. Even though it is above the 1 to 2 pound range that I was kind of aiming for, I don't think I'll keep up with this rate of loss. So I'm really happy with it initially, and kind of hoping to get back to around 2 pounds a week would be ideal and make me super excited. So after 7 months on Zepbound, my total loss up to this point is up to 36.1 pounds. And I wanted to go over my BMI changes. When I started Zepbound, my BMI was 40.1, which put me in the severe obesity category. And with this morning's weigh-in, I'm down to 35, which puts me just on the edge of obesity class 2, I think they call it. So getting really close to getting out of the obesity class 2 range and into 1. And then to be at a healthy weight, according to the BMI charts, which we all know are not perfect, but it's kind of the easiest measure I have right now to go by. Healthy weight, the top end of that range would be 159. So that's where I'm getting the 100-pound goal from, is I started at 259.4. And so my goal weight is 159 for now. I think one of the reasons that my weight was lower this morning than I was expecting has to do with I wasn't actually very hungry for dinner last night. So I ended up just eating a couple of snacks, like some trail mix and some cheese for dinner. And then I got a really good night's sleep and drank plenty of water through the day. So usually when I can get plenty of water in and really get a good night's sleep, that's when I notice a big difference. That was all working in my favor. I have a job that is pretty physically intense this time of year. I'm a horticulturist, and so we're moving in heavy plants for the winter months, and so we were working on that all week. And then on Friday, I just gave my body a rest, and so I think that's part of it as well, is just giving my muscles a rest, drinking plenty of water, and getting a lot of sleep, like I said. This feels like a really big milestone for me, because I have not been at this weight since 2014. So 11 years now, and this is the lowest weight I've been in 11 years. So that's a pretty huge milestone. I've tried many times through the years to lose weight, and usually would do well in the summer months when I'm more active. I'd gain all that back, or sometimes even additional pounds in the winter time when I'm just not as active at work and the days are shorter, and honestly, it's just a little harder to be motivated. So this is really exciting, and I'm really hoping that with the help of a GLP-1, I can continue the losses through the winter months. So looking back over the week, I wanted to just touch on what I ate through the week, and I did a short little video montage. If you want to check that out, I'll link that here. But just showing what I ate through the week, and I stay pretty consistent with eating pretty much the same breakfast every morning. I have a latte or two that I make with my espresso machine and 2% milk. And then I have Fage 0% Greek yogurt with some pumpkin seed granola that I get at Costco. And then I top that with like 8 to 10 raspberries, and that's my breakfast. And then at break time, usually around 10:30 in the morning, I'll have a Built Puff Bar. And I get these at Costco also. They come in a box of 14, I think it is, and they have the brownie batter flavor and the coconut. And then for lunch, I have started substituting a low-carb tortilla that has 18 grams of fiber because I wasn't doing a good job of meeting my fiber goals through the week, aiming for at least 25 grams of fiber a day. And now I think I'm closer to 30 grams of fiber a day by adding those to my lunches. So I've been using a tortilla instead of bread and just making a wrap instead of a sandwich. So I use turkey, cheese, some arugula, tomatoes from my garden, some green olives, and that's my lunch each day. One of my big challenges before, when I was trying to just track calories and lose weight on my own with a calorie deficit, was that I would do really well for breakfast and lunch, and then I would stumble when I'd get home because I didn't have good high protein options for dinner. And I'm not someone who loves to cook. So I've found some easy recipes or things I can just grab and like throw in the oven. So this past week I got the salmon Milano from Costco, which I love, and it has a great amount of protein per serving, and I also get 5 servings out of the pan. So I get dinner that night, and then I get leftovers for the following 4 nights. And I make asparagus and the microwavable sweet potato cubes. So those are super easy. I get those at Target. All in all, it only takes me probably half an hour, and that's including the cooking time of the salmon. So that's been a really easy option for me and has really helped me to have something filling to eat at dinner time, and that I don't have to spend too much time preparing. I can just prepare it once on the weekend and have those leftovers for the rest of the week. In addition to my meals, I every single day drink at least 65 ounces of water. I have this old Nalgene bottle that I have kind of an emotional attachment to at this point, and I put my Ultima electrolytes in that every morning with some ice cubes and get that filled up, and that's 32 ounces, and I usually drink at least 2 of those a day. I try to get more. Lately I've been getting probably 2.5. And to just touch on what I'd like to improve in the coming week, like I mentioned, when I sleep really well, I see much better results. And of course, also it helps my mood a lot and my energy levels through the day. And so I want to try to get better sleep through the week. I think I got maybe 2 or 3 nights of 7 hours of sleep, and the rest was pretty interrupted sleep. So just changing some habits around bedtime, limiting screen time, not drinking too much water in the couple of hours leading up to bedtime so I don't have to get up and pee in the middle of the night. Things like that seem simple, but I just need to get a better established routine with that and try to get more consistent, good quality sleep. And then secondly, I want to start doing some kettlebell workouts again. I did these back in the spring, and I was really kind of amazed at how quickly I was seeing a difference in my strength. So I want to do kettlebell workouts, and I've found some YouTube videos that I like to follow along with that are pretty easy for beginners. And I think and hope that if I can stay consistent with these habits and incorporate exercise more than I am now, I'd like to increase my steps each day also. That's another goal that I should add in there. But I think if I can do all of that more consistently, hopefully I can reach Wonderland, see a 1 on the beginning of the number on the scale for the first time in what would be probably 15 years. I would love to see that in the early part of next year. So that's a longer term goal that I'm making for myself right now. All right, so that wraps up this week's weigh-in. Thank you so much for checking in with me and following along on my journey. And I would love to have you subscribe and hit the like button and comment below and tell me how your journey is going. I'll be back next week with another weigh-in. And in the meantime, let's keep moving forward together. Take care, and I'll see you next time.